can I help? Am I so transparent? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, considering our bond. Yes, there is something I would like to... In our time together, I've been watching you. I've seen your tendency towards giving in to your darker emotions. You do as you please for the most part. Don't worry, this isn't a lead-up to a lecture. I'm fascinated by your passion, by how easily it comes to you. You seem to do whatever you want, something I would never dare consider. Don't you fear the consequences? Is it? The thought of what could happen to me if I lose control. Somehow I think life could be very long indeed. I've always struggled for control over my passions. I've always been too quick to anger, too quick to get involved. My instructors constantly berated me for it. I've often dreamed that I might be able to confront Darth Malak myself. I dream I can use all this power I have to kill him and stop all the death and destruction. I just think about all the evil that the Sith have caused and I get so furious. Yet we are told that these feelings are the path to the dark side. But what comes next? After using all that power, would you decide to impose your own view on the universe? The dark side corrupts your very thoughts. The very thought that I could become as evil as Malak. I just can't fathom it. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, how could I... No. Wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be asking you this. The Jedi teachings are clear. Who am I to question them? And even worse, who am I to try and make you question them? These are dangerous thoughts. The indulgence of a vain mind. Please, forget I ever mentioned this. Let's just return.
Yes, what's on your mind? I already told you, he betrayed us all. Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it. It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time. I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them. And I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left. She had courage, and she was stubborn. Could never talk her out of anything once she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. I had planned on leaving soon, to join her. His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Let's continue with what we were doing.
How may I be of assistance? What is it you would like to speak to me about? How I came to be a Jedi? I am sure you would not find it very interesting. Are you sure you would like to hear? Well, it goes back a number of years. Back on my homeworld, we did not see Jedi very often, especially where I lived. The hind end of space. A pit of a world, to be sure, where Jedi rarely tread. But we had heard of them. Well, everyone had, so that is not to be unexpected. Champions of truth, defenders of justice, heroes of the Republic. It was very easy for a child to be enthralled by their image, their mystique. Maybe I was one of those children. Yes, I did. When I saw a Jedi for the first time, they lived up to everything my imagination had created them to be. I was awed, and maybe a little enamored. They were quite striking, especially the tales of their leader. From that moment on, I knew that I would have to try to become a Jedi. To lift myself out of the rut I had been living in for years, and to make a real difference as the Jedi wore. The foolish delusions of a child. But this child made it happen. As soon as I was able, I left my world and went in search of them. I found them and was accepted. I had been living my dream on Dantooine for several years before you came, although perhaps I was not entirely ready for it, or not completely suited to the task. Otherwise, I would not have fallen. But thanks to you, I have been redeemed. Perhaps I may yet live to see that dream of mine come true. Come, there is much we should do. Let us not waste time talking. How may I be of assistance? What is it you would like to speak to me about? I have been thinking much about our journey, and I am grateful and honored that you have accepted me with you. I am not used to such unbiased acceptance from one who is nearly a stranger to me. We Cathar do not make friends easily, or for long. Even on Dantooine I remained alone. Not ostracized exactly, but separate. Yes, it was. I find it difficult to speak of those things. I do not want to live that way ever again. And here, it seems different. It is warming. I feel almost welcome. Needed. You seem to be very decisive when it is required of you. It is reassuring to know that I can count on someone like you. To be accepted so readily, I find it difficult to explain. It is so different from what I'm used to. Just thank you for accepting me. How may I be of assistance? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Of course.
Got something on your mind? No, I never did I? Elusive? Me, elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderon Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed! I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? There. Now, was that so hard? An old man has to be allowed some petty eccentricities. Nice to see you agree for once. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you, but... I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. I'll remind you that you're the one who started pumping me for information. Like an old man doesn't have anything better to do. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can't be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Got something on you? What? You think because I'm a hermit I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. I don't expect much these days. Got something on your... Oh, I get it. Let's...
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve. Statement. I know some elements of my functionality, Master. Qualification. I suspected that it might, Master, but without memory, I had no way of knowing whether or not I knew that was true. Qualification. Not so much, Master. I spoke out of ignorance. I assumed the Ithorian was responsible for my memory loss. That does not mean I am not a fully loyal droid willing to serve its master. Right, Master? Answer. There have been numerous repairs and tampering made to my system, Master. Several systems are not operating as they should be. The fact that my memory is incomplete may be due to meatbag incompetence, or something else I am unaware of. Answer. Some of my motor functions can be safely repaired, Master, but anything in relation to my memory core is extremely sensitive. I have safeguards installed to protect that core that I cannot deactivate. It is not impossible that other, lesser memory functions could be restored, however. Answer. You may attempt to restore portions of my deleted memory, Master, but some skill at the deeper functions of my core memory, however, would still be unadvisable to tamper with. Conjecture. It is possible that some external stimulus might result in the memory core being reactivated, but I am unaware of any program existence to do so. Conjecture. There may be hidden programming that awaits certain conditions to reactivate my memory core, Master, but there is no way to know. It is quite possible that tampering has simply erased my core permanently. If that is so, a meatbag will surely pay. Answer. Simply tell me that you wish to make the attempt, Master, and I will attempt to walk you through it. Please do be careful. Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request. I only ask that you be oh so very careful, Master. Statement. As you wish, Master. The first stage is the simple one, and that is accessing my central... Now close the last panel. I am afraid the operation... Supplication. Perhaps it would be best if you desisted your efforts for the moment, Master. This seems... As you desire. Statement. Query. Don't I? I was under the assumption that organic meatbags such as yourself enjoyed such forms of address. Retraction. Did I say that out loud? I apologize, Master. While you are a meatbag, I suppose I should not call you such. Explanation. It's just that you have all these squishy parts, Master, and all that water. How the constant sloshing doesn't drive you mad, I have no idea. Statement. Now do you understand the travails of my existence, Master? Surely it does not compare to your existence, but still. Apology. I am afraid I cannot comply with your command, Master, as much as I would like to. Explanation. Someone has hard-coded it into my system that my current Master always be addressed as such. Conjecture. I do not know. Some organic meatbag? Answer. No, Master. My past memory has been... Observation. At certain times, power rerouting forces some memory circuits to fire that were previously deleted. I cannot control this process. Answer. Because there has been considerable tampering with my systems, Master. Statement. Statement. As you desire.
Yeah, what do you want? The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Taris could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. Is there something else? Hey, don't worry. I think a real warrior knows his own... There anything else you... Your choice. Yeah, what do you want? Your choice.
Hey there, what can... Don't worry. I won't let the search for... Okay.
Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend. find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
How can I help? Yes, I did end that quite abruptly, didn't I? Perhaps a master could have addressed my questions with the proper wisdom, but I never should have brought it up here, not with you. Part of my purpose on this mission was to guide you in the way of the light, to help you avoid the temptations of the dark side. But I fear I've failed in that task. I don't think I'm the proper Jedi to guide you. I'm no master. You should have remained with the Council. The fact of the matter is, I have never possessed much skill at controlling myself. With the bond that joins us, it seems I have even less. Whether you will continue on your current path and fall to the dark side, I don't know. But it is increasingly obvious I am unable to guide you properly. I don't know. I think I may have made a very big mistake. I simply hope that you are not the one who pays the price, ultimately, for the fact that I can't help you enough. That's a kinder response than I deserve. And I can see there is wisdom in your words. You continue to be there for me, don't you? Even after I keep pushing you away, you're still around when I need you most. You're like no man I've known before. And you're nothing like what I expected you to be after the Council sent us on this mission together. I need time to think about all this. They're not going as I thought they would. We should continue on with our mission for now.
Got something on your... Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older. Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you? I might be, but a mouthy young thing like yourself shouldn't get to call me an old coot, damn it. And besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history, probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact. Oh, fine, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolee Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career. Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I can still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade. Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just knew had more than they could use. Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember. as it happens, getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day well, that was the day I met my wife. You know another way to get a wife? But yes, that's when I met her. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. Got something on your mind? Oh, I get it.
Dong hai Rundi ha dong.
Achuta. Runda di hot. Jedabadawana catch. Achuta. Jedabadawana need muchashak pak. Kukumo. Jedabadawana catch. Achuta. Jedabadawana muchashak pak.
Yeah, what do you want? Your choice.
How can I help? You've been patient with me, haven't you? I suppose you deserve an answer. But you have to understand how difficult this is for me to say. With all my training, I should be able to control myself better than this. But you're not like anything I expected. You're not like any man I've ever met before. I find myself watching you when I don't mean to. I'm thinking about you when I don't want to. It isn't supposed to be like this. I don't know. It shouldn't be so hard not to think of you. It should be easy not to think of you. I should have discipline. Jedi discipline. Every time I try to call on all my teachings to calm myself, they fail me. You have such power, such passion. I don't know if it's due to the bond between us, but I'm drawn to you. The Force is a part of you, as is your power. But that's not what attracted me to you. It's more than that. Maybe it's the bond we share. It gives us a certain intimacy. If I could, I would return to Dantooine. I need to be away from this bond of ours. I need to weaken it. I need to be anywhere but near you. But Malak must be stopped. My own feelings are nothing when compared to that. Yet I know this could affect the sake of our mission if it's not resolved. I can't let that happen. I think we should have some privacy for this. Come with me. I can't deny that there are parts of you I'm drawn to. Your power, your will. You are so much stronger than I am. In some ways you make me feel weak, like I'm caught up in the wake of our destiny. but at the same time you make me feel stronger, more alive. I realize now these feelings are part of the bond we share. The Jedi Council surely realized this. They knew my loyalty to the doctrines of our order would be tested on this mission. By facing and overcoming my feelings for you, I've learned a valuable lesson about control and the dangers of emotion. This is an important step in understanding the Force. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear, but I felt that it was important you know our infatuation was nothing more than a result of our powerful bond. Please, don't say it like that. You make it sound like I was using you. Don't you realize how difficult this was for me? You're the one who can't face the truth. Malak has to be stopped. How can I do that if I let myself be blinded by my feelings for you? You mean it, don't you? But how can I be sure you're not making a mistake? I have to resist. I have to be strong for both of us. But I can't. Malak will... Oh my. We shouldn't have done that. It was wrong. The Jedi are not allowed to fall in love. It was a moment of weakness. When I kissed you, we shouldn't have. I'm sorry, no. I know we both wanted it, but we shouldn't have given in to our desire. We're Jedi. We can't act like this. Not now. Not while we still have to deal with Malak. I'm sorry. I don't blame you, but it was a mistake. I have to get out of here before somebody sees us together.
How may I be of assistance? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Of course.
How can I help? We've already been over this. It was a moment of weakness, a stumble brought on by unbridled passions. But my emotions are firmly in check once more. We need to stay focused on stopping Darth Malak. And I want the others to stay focused as well. I don't want them to get suspicious and start gossiping about our little encounter. So until our mission is over, we need to act with discretion. We shouldn't speak of this anymore. Not until Malak is defeated. How can I help? Then I suggest we move on. strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is... The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map.
How can I help?
Then I suggest we move on.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the Galactic Senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The Senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude. Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manaan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere. Peacefully? Not hardly. Just look in their eyes. You can see they'd like nothing more than to kill each and every one of us. Personal-like. Yeah, there's nothing we can do, though. The Selkath want to maintain their neutrality, and they enforce it very strictly. So, we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe Kolto export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether. Star map? Like an ancient art? No, I'm sorry. Is there anything else I can do? Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Paco Chichopa. Kuyami Juski Chikat Paco Chichopa. Hava.
The Jedi Council wouldn't approve, but they always were a little stodgy about using the Force on people.
Jolee, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolee. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolee. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Alora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Alora. We'll get to the bottom.
I doubt the Republic would be involved in anything illegal. Still, if this Selkath has concerns, we could look into it for him.
Be careful here, kid. Start poking your nose in a place it doesn't belong, and you might not like what you find.
I hope you're here to play some Pazaak. So clear out already.
We might have a position within the Sith War.
Your offer is pretty good, but I've heard some nasty things about...
This is war.
You make a good point. And I've never...
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake.
If the Republic's soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because...
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least... Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very...
I'm sick of hearing about Manon's neutrality. It sounds like a coward's...
Jolee, what are you doing here? Alora sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolee? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the Cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Elassa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Elassa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alassa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Selkath, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my Arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Well, I was at the it was going well. But let's look at the fact. Alas, it was my war. Further, obviously the Sith. I hope you can see anything else I can help. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Very well. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the Warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
So, do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there...
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries.
Makes sense, I guess.
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure he'll have some task he wants you to start on.
Precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The Galactic Senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Kakincha nawabakaon. Ichage borang tu. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi itong hitwama aki inko tune. Jiska dosoki kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smaktoma. Kakincha nawabakaon. Ichage borang tura. Achua pengti. Yun patisa. Tichuba kopa na op. Con mulis limo poi Laboda na winki smak doma. Jiska da soki kupa bona na chachu da tuka ulwan. Laboda na winki smak doma. Jiska da uba batu konchi.
How much for all this stuff, Tybark?
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko.
Thanks, Tybark. Catch you next week.
Chiwi aita ka tong hitwama agi inko tu. Tong hitwa. Chiwi aika skronki to pats achua peng. Tong hitwa.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel... The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. What do you want to know? Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. He can't run good. What do you want to know? There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazaak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well, okay.
No problem. Didn't work.
Gotcha.
Yes? You with the Selkath? You here to see me? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you... Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alassa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Well, Alassa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. You know, I think I could trust you. Heck, I don't even know why I shouldn't tell you. Well, one time, I saw Alassa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alassa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me. You again. Didn't I tell you people... I was in my room, minding my own business, with the latest copy of Pazaak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Glupor in the hall by Alassa's room, and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty. Yes, well, I'll be right.
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunry and Alassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? Dear, dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
I'm sorry. I'm on duty, citizen.
Welcome to Manan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of... Oh, of course. Of course I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. No. You do what I want and maybe I can help you out. Don't think you can manipulate me, Jedi. The Republic Diplomatic Corps has to deal with the Sith all the time, so we're very resistant to Your only real choice is to help. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Firaxan shark, but while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid. But the droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base, and that is what we would ask you to. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on... The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most... We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to... The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith Masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a passcard to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. The Sith base itself is very heavily... Here is a passcard. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would... You'll need luck for that one. Odds are they have some pretty strong guards in there. But it's also the way most likely to... I wish you luck in your task.
So you're the one who's gonna try to get into the Sith base, eh? Huh. This is our main computer room here. We got the box of passcards we got from the Sith, but we haven't been able to break... We have been able to decode the numeric system they use, but there are holes in our terminal the strings of numbers that end the code sequences. If we could complete those strings, we would have the key to their encryption system. The encryption system is composed of 6 matrices. Each is based on a mathematical method. The holes we're missing are the final number in each of the strings. Most are simple, but the final 2 matrices seem to be much more difficult. The second last matrix has a pattern looping back on itself, or something. And the last is divided into smaller subparts. Maybe the pattern for that is within each part. But I have to admit, all this is a bit over my head. I haven't even been able to slice past the first matrix, and I've been at this for hours. I've ruined a dozen cards already. But the good thing is we have a whole box of them, so you don't have to worry about running out anytime. Since Roland said you were cleared, you can use the...
Got something on your mind, dude? I don't want to talk about that. Yes, you do. You may mean well enough, but my private affairs are just that. Private. Let me tell you something. Once you've lived as many years as I have, you'll have yourself a long, long list of memories. If you're lucky, Most of them will be good. If you're not, some will be bad. If you're really unlucky, some will be so bad you never want to be reminded of them again, ever. You'll go far away, to a place that doesn't hold any memories at all. And there you'll be happy just to forget and be forgotten. Partly, maybe. I doubt I could ever explain it to you fully, even if I wanted to. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in love? Truly in love, I mean, and not simple infatuation. Exactly. You're still at the beginning of your life. There will be women in your life, perhaps many women. But if you're fortunate, you'll find love once. The Jedi, with their damnable sense of over-caution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you. Listen to me go on as if I had all the answers. What do I know of love anymore? I'm just a lonely old man who's not even a Jedi. You do you? I wouldn't listen too closely. I'm no authority on anything. I just think that the greatest things in life shouldn't be avoided because they come with a few complications. Love causes pain, certainly. Inevitably, love is going to lead to as much sorrow and regret as it does joy. I suppose there are perfect eternal loves out there, but I haven't seen any. And how do you deal with the bad part of love is what determines your character. What determines the dark side's hold over you. I haven't changed my mind. I'm still not going to talk about it. You go and find your own love if you want to know so badly. I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you and the one you love simply aren't meant to be together. The trick is to know when that is. To know when it's time to fight and when it's time to part ways. There I go, waxing philosophical again. Somebody blast me already. Let's get going before I start talking. Got something on your... Oh, I get it.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
Con mulis limo poi Kiskanichu Ubabatu con
Hey, this street is for Sith only. You talk big, but remember what we did to Taris.
You got any armor plating for my... I thought this garbage was free. Don't worry, Junkman. When I want garbage...
Hakochi Chopa. Kuyami Juski Hakochi Chop. Hava.
I'm here.
Yes?
Yes?
What can I do?
Sure.
You there. I don't recognize... You! Commander Gran. You authorize... I don't know them. And their identification...
What? Sound the alarm!
Not this again!
What can I do? behind me. What can I do?
Yes?
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 Sure.
Yes?
Yes?
What can I do?
Yes?
Warning, activating flow control may flood occupied chambers. Please ensure all receiving chambers are empty. Warning, active... Warning, activating flow control may flood occupied chambers. Please ensure all receiving... Warning, active... Warning, active... Warning, water transfer proceeding. Warning, active... Warning, activating...
No problem. Didn't work.
What can I do?
Yes?
Sure.
Yes?
And you need?
What?
Yes?
Yes, sure.
What can I do?
Yes. What?
Yes?
How did you get in here? Wait. Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had a...
Well, let me get... See?
As you wish, my eager... Not this again!
Yes, certainly you must have heard of the destruction of Taris. It's your honorable friends that committed that atrocity. You've been saved from more than you know. Given time, the Sith would have turned you fully to the dark side, and you would have betrayed your world gladly. What can I do?
Wait.
Sure.
Joey, coming to check in on an old man?
Soon, old friend.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four Go ahead, ask. Ask what you... Oh... No, what this must look like, yes. Yes, we were having an affair. I know it was wrong, but I'm a weak man. Alasa was beautiful and young. How was I to resist her charms? But I didn't kill her. I loved her. Please. I know I made a terrible mistake getting involved with Alasa, but I was going there to break it off with her. I did it, but found out later that she was dead. I don't deserve to go to jail just for having an affair, do I? You have to help me prove that I wasn't the killer. Well, you know I was having an affair with Alasa. But I can tell you it wasn't easy. She was young and beautiful. But I love Alasa. Found out later she'd been murdered when the Selkath... But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was my war and further. Obviously the Sith. I hope you can see anything else. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need. So the truth is out. I never meant to kill her, you know. When I found out she was a Sith spy using me to gain information, something inside me just snapped. She didn't know I had found out. So I waited until she fell asleep. And then I killed her. Simple, really. But once I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I contacted those spies from the Republic to help me. found the illegal monitoring device that the Sith had planted in the room, altered its recording to hide my part in it, and cleared up the evidence. I figured that was the end of it. The Sith must have been spying on me and Alasa, trying to make sure she wasn't a double agent. They must have seen the Republic spies getting rid of all the evidence, so they planted their own evidence. Alasa must have stolen that hero's cross from me long ago and given it to her Sith masters like some kind of trophy. I just thought I'd misplaced it. But when the cross turned up on her body, I knew the Sith had put it there. So, now you know the whole story. What are you going to do? You think I'm some kind of monster, don't you? All I did was kill a Sith. How many Sith have you killed? Dozens? Hundreds? Thousands?
That's different, Sunry, and you know it. We don't kill them in cold blood while they sleep.
I don't see how the two of us are any different. She was a spy. She was using me to get information so Malak's army could destroy the Republic. She deserved his eye. If I confess, I'm looking at 20 years in prison. And the Otto City officials might even place Kolto sanctions on the Republic Embassy. Without Kolto, how can we treat the injuries to our soldiers on the front lines? Oh, that's low. Using a Jedi mind trick to extort a confession from me. You might as well beat me if you turn me in. The Republic will likely lose its Kolto export privileges, and then we'll lose the war for sure. Are you going to send all those thousands, millions like Taurus to their deaths just for your sense of justice?
Sunry, this is wrong, and you know it. I am a Jedi. What is it that you expect me to do to defend your actions?
You do whatever you have to, Jolee. I know what I did. But I also know what's at stake here. No, I'll rot in here if I have to. I won't betray the Republic. Do what you have to, but know what the consequences will be.
Got something on your mind, do you? Oh, I get it.
No, I'll rot in here if I have to.
This is the will of the court, but it doesn't feel like justice to me.
Oh, son, no!
Got something on your mind, do you? You did what was necessary. Sunry was guilty, as sad as that fact makes me. Justice had to be done. Doesn't matter that his victim was a Sith or that he was once a hero. I only wish that my old friend hadn't done it. But that's the thing about wishes. They don't come true. And now Sunray's dead, which is a shame. He was a good man, you know, once. I don't want to talk about...
How can I help? Then I suggest we...
Have you managed to retrieve the... Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with. So the Sith did not... And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi, and we have exhausted all the other options. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manan is the sole source of Kolto, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes Kolto exports, but a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manan anyway. So we made a deal. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest Kolto directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction. An ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Hrakkard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Hrakkard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our Kolto. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The Sith have also noted our interest, and begun to bribe mercenaries away. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the heads. Good luck in your efforts.
How did you get in? Did they send another submersible? No! No, we have no time. We have to leave now. I managed to close the door after they killed the Selkath. They went crazy. They started killing anything that moved. Someone must have triggered the defense systems too, because all the droids acted. I was one of the mercs the Republic sent down here to find out what happened. We came down and secured the first couple of rooms, and the Selkath came out, screaming and croaking their fishy little war cries. They swarmed out and over us. There was no way we could stop them. So we ran. But hardly any of us made it. I locked the door behind us, but the others had already left in the submersible. The sharks. The Firaxa out there, and worse. I heard an explosion shortly after the submersible left. They didn't make it. Just food for the sharks and the Selkath. Like us. What? No.
I'm here.
The Force fights with me!
Yes.
I'm
Sure.
here.
No problem. Got it.
Is somebody out there? Fishy, fishy, fishy. Ha! That's what you think? Fishy think that too. These walls and door are 6 centimeters, no 12 centimeters, of Durasteel. I'm invulnerable behind my walls. Nobody's getting in here. When the Selkath went insane and started killing everybody, I locked myself in here. I'm safe in here. Nothing can hurt me in here. No, no, no. Only the ones left in the south part of the base might still be alive, where the Kolto is. Few fishies there, but many, many, many fishies in between the water. No, no. Only the ones left. Don't know. Go ask them. When the demon screamed, it. Bye-bye. Go look for fishy people. They'll. Is somebody out there? Investigate? Yep. And the Selkath went insane. No, you can't harm me in here. Ah!
Who's there? You're not Cellcath, I can see that much. I'm a merc the Republic hired a couple days ago to investigate. But all we found was a bunch of insane... All my companions are dead. The Cellcath swarmed over us. There were dozens of them. And they looked wrong, somehow. Like something had changed inside them. Insane or something. Oh, I'd have gone back to the surface long ago if this complex hadn't been overrun by all those crazy Cellcaths. There's no way for me to get to the submarine docking bay. I discovered a way to get to the bay and seal off the rest of the base. I just have to find the Kolto harvester they built on the edge of the Hrackert Rift. It's got an emergency override to open the doors to the submarine docking bay. And I could get in from the outside. I figured my only chance was to slap on an environment suit, head out onto the ocean floor, and check that harvester out for myself. Besides, it's gotta be safer out on the ocean floor than back in there with all those crazed Cellcath mutants running around looking for dinner. I'm not spending another minute in this facility. Not with those... I'm heading out to the ocean floor right now. It leads to another complex of building. We should probably stick together. But I won't wait around in here with the Cellcath. You can catch up with me if you want. Down the hall and through the doors on the right. I'll be waiting on the ocean floor where...
Come on, hurry up. Don't just stand there, we have to keep moving. The water is filled with... Ow! Ah!
No, you can't come in here. You'll let the Firaxa and the Selkath in. No, I won't let you open the door for those monsters to get in. I'll stop you. I'll suck all the pressure out of the...
Kill them! Kill them now!
60 seconds to complete depressurization. 54 seconds to complete depressurization. 48 seconds to complete depressurization. 42 seconds to complete depressurization. 36 seconds to complete depressurization.
No. The Firaxa will get us. No, the Selkath are coming. No!
No! Ah! Ah, no!
You... Sammy, calm down!
Kono! Kono!
Yes, I think they're here to... I'm sorry for what I did. I don't know what came over me. I just panicked when I heard someone outside the door. Please forgive me. I'm just so scared.
We're both just scared.
When the Selkath went crazy, I thought everyone else except me and Sammy went mad. We had a few people outside the station when it happened.
The Frax and Sharks just tore them apart. It was like they were frenzied.
The next thing we knew, our Selkath researchers started screaming and clawing at everything around them. My team was torn apart and eaten before my eyes. Sammy and me, I thought we were the only ones left. We heard the Selkath outside the doors every once in a while, and strange noises echoing through the base.
We thought everyone was dead or insane. I must have been hysterical. I don't know what I can say. I truly apologize for the horrible mistake I was making.
I'm Kono Nolan, and this is Sammy. We were scientists working here on the Harakard Rift project. Look, I'm sorry. I have just been under a lot of strain recently. You know, the whole thing about having my entire research team devoured before my eyes.
Kono, calm down. Don't talk to him like that. We've gone through a lot, and we said we were sorry for the mistake we made.
I'm sorry for my actions, but what are you doing here? The star map?
But there were some ruins that were excavated when we were digging the foundations for the last section of the Kolto harvesting machine.
But we can't go anywhere near those now. Maybe that's why it all happened.
We don't know. Not for sure.
The work teams were outside in the rift near the vent. Then there was this rumbling in my head.
This monster rose up from the rift.
It was a Firaxa shark, I think. Bigger than anything I'd ever seen before. Bigger than our submersibles.
It was like it was screaming.
Then all the Selkaths started... It may have been. Maybe it was protecting the ruin. It could have been. It might have a lair in the Harakard Rift near the Kolto vent. That might explain... like, why it reacted so violently when our construction efforts got and also, why it's so large. It must be feeding off the Kolto. It would have to be ancient indeed for it to reach that size. With Kolto as a food...
And all those other Firaxan sharks? Those might be its offspring.
Which would be why they all swarmed when it called out to them. Children. The Firaxan sharks have always been a serious problem. We had some blasters and projectile cannons to defend against them, but they still got some of our workers from time to time.
We were working on a soluble chemical compound that would drive them away. Something that smelled or tasted repulsive to them, but we never got it working right.
Oh, I think not. Even flawed like it is, it should be ideal for this situation.
No, it's not working right. You don't know what it'll do. The repellent we made was supposed to drive Firaxan sharks away, but we never got very far in its development. The one we tested instead was violently toxic to them, rupturing their outer skin in seconds and preventing them from drawing oxygen from the water by clogging their intakes.
Which is exactly what we need in this situation. Something to kill that monster shark that destroyed our station.
But we don't know how else the chemical reacts. We only tried it in a controlled environment. In the open ocean, who knows what it could do? It could even affect the Kolto.
We know exactly what it'll do. It'll kill the shark. That's what we designed it to do. You don't need to do anything else. We have a canister of the toxin here right now. We were working on it before the giant Firaxan drove all the Selkath insane. All you need to do is insert it into the main Kolto harvester and have it vented. Get away as soon as you can. We don't know how much worse it'll affect the giant Firaxan shark.
Well, the monster seems to have been driven out by the machinery we installed at the edge of the rift. We've seen it out there on the cameras, bashing itself against the machines. I think if you could destroy the machinery we installed, the shark would calm down and retreat back into its lair inside the rift. You can reprogram the harvesting machines to overpressure their self-oxidizing fuel so that the fuel tank canisters will rupture and the entire machine will destroy itself. The hydrolium gas we use is a gas at 1 to 3 million Sangin, a liquid at about 4 million Sangin, and a solid above that. When it's a liquid, it's very explosive. If you inject enough of the hydrolium gas into the tank, the pressure will be so great that it'll turn to liquid form and start a chain reaction inside the machine.
But we'll lose everything we've built here. All those years of work.
It's better than whatever your chemical will do to the water. What? No! Run, Kono! He's one of them!
Oh.
Sure.
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the You may have defeated the pathetic bounty hunter my master sent after you, but you are no match for me. I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord. Your words mean nothing to me, unless you wish to beg for your life. No? Then I shall try to make this both quick and painful.
I'm
Yes.
here.
What can I do? What can I do?
Sure.
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility? Insane. What did they do? And what? They killed everyone? And the mercenaries we sent later? That's horrible. What caused them to all go insane at once? Something was down there? Living in the rift by the Kolto? It's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors? No, that is terrible. That will set our work back years. It may even cost us the war. While I am glad that you were able to solve our problems, the cost may have ended up being much too... But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And did you... As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself. Perhaps we can work...
How may I be of What is it you would like? Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating. They were so very alive, so full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic. Well, yes. These Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods. I can only assume that that was some misguided attempt at humor. I was using poetic license. But those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long. The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle, the oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations. Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hates out on us, because the people they wanted had already fled, or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we saw. But I am sorry. I shouldn't. No, it is not. Anger can lead. But let us not speak more. Yes. I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I have been wrestling with my feelings inside, trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine. Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastila. Taris, my homeworld. It was my home. If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood. Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still... I know. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. Yes. Yes, I suppose it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. How may I be of a... What is it you would like? Terrace was my home for many years. As much as I hated it, it was still home. A rat hole, a warren, a paradise. I suppose you could call it all these things. For me, it was hell. To walk down the streets, to have people look at you in disgust, like an animal. Most did not know anything about me, but it was there, all the same. Because I was an alien, because I was different from them, frightening. I doubt any of them had even seen my people before. So they persecuted me. They looked down on me and my family. Charged us more for food, would not let us walk their streets. They spat on us. You are human. You could not possibly know. That is true, I suppose. But it is much more obvious. There were no other Cathar on Terrace. No one to talk to, no one to confide in. But you must think me weak for saying this. I thank you for your concern. Maybe I am weak. To think that's... I thank you. You are kinder than I would have expected to put up with me. I hope that I will not use your time. How may I be of a... What is it you would like? Of course.
Yeah, what do you want? Your choice.
Got something on your mind? Who said I left? Well, technically I was only a Padawan. Not that that makes a difference to most, but as for the Order itself, no, I never left it. It left me. You know what I hate? Well, you know, lots of things really, but I'm old and easily annoyed, but that's besides the point. What I really hate are how most people view the Jedi. Everyone thinks that the Jedi are perfect, that they can do no wrong. They think the Jedi Council is completely incapable of injustice. I guess you aren't as stupid as you sometimes act. No doubt you've been on the receiving end of Jedi justice at least once, eh? And I'm not even talking about how some of us fall to the dark side. No, that's plenty indication of our fallibility, but it's something else entirely. No, I'm talking about how more than often not, your average robe-wearing Jedi can try to do the right thing and still be completely wrong. Suppose I'm not being very clear, am I? Come to think of it, I don't have to be clear. Someone my age is entitled to ramble, damn it. But for you, I'll tell you a little tale about a Jedi master I once knew. Hortath, I think. Or was it Hortoth? I can never get it straight. Where was I then? Oh yes, Master Hortath. He was a kindly old Jedi who meant well, but the most nearsighted thing in the Corps, I swear. He would walk into walls, knock over tables, mistake apprentices for rancor beasts, that sort of thing. And he was too proud to submit to proper treatment. Some used to counsel him in the urge to use the Force, Master Hortath. Allow the Force to see for you. But he refused to believe that his eyes were failing. He simply squinted more and more as the years went on. The other Jedi resignedly passing it off as the amusing quirk of a compassionate old man. So, one day a young Padawan meets Master Hortath in the courtyard and, not knowing of his blindness, asks him for directions to the council. Quite sure of himself, Hortath gave the lad directions, which happened to lead back outside and away from the Enclave. The Padawan is confused, naturally, and he asks if Master Hortath is sure, and of course Master Hortath says that he is. The Padawan suggests that perhaps he should have asked someone else, but the proud Hortath now feels insulted. He tells the Padawan to take the route he prescribed and no other. Rather dejectedly, the Padawan did as he was told, and so ended up leaving the Jedi Order forever. It was decided that the boy's fate was to leave the Order anyway, though whether that was out of respect for Hortath or because the boy went on to something else, well, we'll never know. No, both of them were from before my time. Well before the Sith Wars, even. The tale is about blindness, and I thought the point was clear. At any rate, you think about it. You're the one who asked why the Jedi left me, remember? Now let's get going. My feet are itching for a good run. Got something on your... Oh, I get it.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.